Right. Welcome to the National Transportation Safety Board. I'm Jennifer Homendy, and I'm honored to serve as chairwoman of the NTSB. I'm joined by my fellow board members, Member Michael Graham, Member Todd Inman, and Member Tom Chapman. Before we begin, I'm going to yield 1 minute to Member Chapman.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak briefly, Chair. I'm going to excuse myself from today's proceedings as I did prior to last summer's investigative hearing. Before doing so, I want to again explain why I will not be participating. As I have formally disclosed in various public financial disclosure filings, my family and I continue to receive flight privileges from American Airlines pursuant to what's called an executive change in control and severance benefits agreement. Without going into details, that's an arrangement which dates to a circumstance and time much earlier in my professional career. American Airlines is not a formal party to the investigation. However, I have recused myself from participation in this investigation because of the business and corporate relationship between American Airlines and PSA Airlines, and PSA is a party, of course. I commend our team and my colleagues on the board for their hard work. I've followed the investigation closely, and I'll be observing today's board meeting by video. A thorough determination and examination of the facts is owed to those who lost their lives in this terrible tragedy, and to their loved ones who are grieving the unimaginable loss. I know that some of the folks are here today, and others are undoubtedly watching online. My heart goes out to you. I am confident the lessons learned from this investigation will help ensure such a tragedy can never be repeated. And Chair, that concludes my remarks. My thanks again for the opportunity to explain my situation.
Thank you, Member Chapman. Today's meeting is open to the public in accordance with the Government and the Sunshine Act. It's the first time board members and staff have come together to discuss the draft report and to consider the proposed findings, probable cause, and safety recommendations. Before I continue, I want to pause for a safety video. Olivia?
Hello, and welcome to the NTSB boardroom. Before we get started with today's meeting, I'd like to quickly walk you through our emergency procedures. First things first, please take a moment to silence your phones or other electronic devices. If you need the restroom, they're just outside the boardroom on the left side of the lobby. If someone experiences a medical emergency, our on-site Federal Protective Service officers are trained to respond. They'll call 911, perform CPR if needed, and use the automated external defibrillator device mounted in the lobby between the boardroom exit doors. They're also trained to provide first aid. There's a first aid kit at the security desk in the lobby. If we're asked to shelter in place, like during severe weather or a security incident, please stay seated and listen for instructions. Our security team will manage the situation and let us know when it's safe to leave. If the fire alarm sounds, please follow NTSB staff to the nearest exit. There are two main options. You can exit via the stairs next to the stage, or you can exit the same way you came in through the lobby. Please walk, don't run. Once outside, you'll be directed to an assembly area. Stay there until we're clear to come back inside. If there's a small fire, our security officers are trained to respond using one of the fire extinguishers. You'll find them in 3 locations: by the stairwells on either side of the stage at the front of the boardroom, mounted on the wall at the back of the boardroom, and near the security area in the lobby. For anyone who needs an accessible evacuation route, you can use the door on the left side of the lobby, which leads you into the parking garage. From there, turn right and follow the walkway to the street level. NTSB staff will be available to assist anyone who needs help. And finally, safety is everyone's responsibility. If you see anything that seems off or concerning, please let a staff member or security officer know right away. Thank you for helping us maintain a safe and secure space.
Thank you, Sherry, for that excellent safety video. And before I continue on with my opening statement, I'll yield 2 minutes to Member Graham.
Thank you, Chair. Today is a heavy day, and I do not think that is lost on any of us. This has been an incredibly difficult year for our agency and our investigators, the first responders to this accident, and the aviation community as a whole, as we have mourned the loss of 67 lives nearly 1 year ago from an accident and tragedy that never, ever should have happened. As difficult as this year has been for so many, though, I know it has been most difficult for the family and friends who lost loved ones in this accident. Whether you're here today with us or online or watching at a later date, please know that I, my fellow board members, and our entire agency mean it when we say we have not let a day go by when we are not thinking about your loved ones. They have been on our minds and in our hearts at each and every step of this process. Our investigation has been a grueling and challenging process, but I cannot imagine having to endure all of this in the eyes of the public. I will continue to pray for each and every one of you. I imagine there will be some difficult moments today for all of us as we try to provide answers to how a multitude of errors led to this tragedy. There will be some times where individual errors may be noted throughout the course of the day in relation to this accident, but I want to make it crystal clear. Any individual shortcomings were set up for failure by the systems around them. We are not here today to place blame on any individual or any organization, but we are here to ensure those systems that failed to protect 67 people on January 29, 2025, never fail again. To that end, I remain steadfast in my commitment to forcefully advocate for all the safety recommendations we adopt today moving forward. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Excellent statement. And I do want to point out this was as I said at the initial press conference, an all-hands-on-deck investigation and on-scene work. Member Graham, I know that you were there. You met with families, some of which are from your home. So thank you very much for your work. Now I want to yield a couple minutes to Member Inman, who was the board member on scene for this accident, and thank you for your work.
Thanks, Chair. First off, to the staff, thank you for dedicating almost a year of your life to this. I know for many of you it has been a singular mission. For many others, they've helped and supported, so we appreciate it. It is not easy what you do, nor what you face every day. To the family members, I'm sorry. On behalf of all of us, we should not be here. I told you yesterday, none of us should be here. You would hope someday we could actually get rid of the NTSB because there was no longer a need. But unfortunately, from tragedy, we draw knowledge to improve the safety for us all. So for that, I'm sorry. It will not be an easy day. And I think as Mike just said, there is no singular person to blame for this. These were systemic issues across multiple organizations. And I think as you'll see, we will place a lot of the information that you're going to hear on those responsible organizations and hopefully make recommendations so that this never happens again. But while the board meeting may end today, it's not over. Tomorrow begins the advocacy. It begins the time to get the recommendations. It's the time to actually really start the hard work for a lot of people that may go on for years, but we will be with you throughout that time. We're not going anywhere. I know you're not. We're there to work with you and to help you in any way we can. So for that, again, I am sorry for us being here. I wish it did not happen. I never want to sit before another family and do the briefings like we had to do in the days after that crash. I know we cried together, and we'll probably do that again today. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Inman. Appreciate that. The NTSB meets today to finalize our investigation of the Midair collision between a Black Hawk operated by the U.S. Army under the call sign PAT-25 and a CRJ 700 operated by PSA Airlines as American Airlines Flight 5342. The collision occurred on January 29, 2025, at about 8:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, about a half half a mile southeast of Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. Tragically, there were no survivors. The 2 pilots, 2 flight attendants, and 60 passengers aboard the airplane and 3 crew members aboard the helicopter were fatally injured. I want to take a moment to address the 67 people, the families and friends of the 67 people who died that day. I imagine every day since January 29th has been incredibly difficult. And I imagine that today is even more difficult. And Thursday, as we mark 1 year since this tragedy occurred, since you lost your loved ones. As a mom, I can only imagine all that you've been through. You are in our daily prayers. I pray for you every single day. And on behalf of everyone at the NTSB, our entire agency, please accept our heartfelt condolences and our deepest, deepest sympathies. Unknowingly, you are also an inspiration to so many of us. You have, in the wake of absolute devastation, shown remarkable selflessness, courageously advocating for important reforms in aviation safety to save lives for others. I have no doubt that the information uncovered by our investigation will support all of your efforts to make aviation safer, to work towards a future where no family endures such tremendous loss. Our family assistance team and the American Red Cross are here today to provide support for anyone here who might need it. Colleagues, where could you indicate where you are in the room right now? We have several. If you can stand, raise your hand. Some in the back. If anyone needs support, please do not hesitate to ask. We have private rooms that we can sit down with you and meet with you. I also want to recognize NTSB's staff for your incredible work on this investigation, which is undoubtedly one of the most complex in NTSB's history. If anyone would like a glimpse of what these dedicated safety experts have done over the past year, look no further than the public docket for this investigation. It spans more than 19,000 pages and includes testimony from our 3-day, 33-hour investigative hearing last July. And yet, we can never quantify the time you dedicated to this investigation over the past year, from your work on scene to the countless hours spent analyzing and distilling the information into a comprehensive report that exceeds 500 pages to ensure every lesson is learned from this devastating tragedy. That you did so in less than 12 months' time while meeting the high bar for quality and impartiality that our agency is known for. At one point, working through the longest government shutdown in history with a myriad of other accident investigations underway is a true testament to your dedication and your professionalism, and we thank you for all that you do. There is a tendency in the immediate aftermath of any investigation or any accident that we investigate to question human error, the actions or inactions of individuals. However, human error in complex systems, like our modern aviation system and the national airspace system, isn't a cause, it's a consequence. Many things need to go wrong for an accident to occur. In any investigation, the NTSB could choose to focus on a simple moment, on what happened immediately prior to an accident, on the individuals involved. But that's not the whole picture.